Hello everyone. Um, I hope yep, I am. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for coming to see how I'm going to assure myself online. um, so uh, Last week when we had this data science session, I had not yet installed what was required for us to learn or to do the bit of we were supposed to do last time. But now I have done some of the bits. I came 30 minutes earlier here, and I have I have installed, I have gone to my GitHub, and I have created a repository called Learning Fast API. You can get the repository here you can reach the repository here in the comments. I will put the repository after we are done. I will put it in the link description. But for now, let's look at what I'm going to be learning, because I'm just learning in front of you. And if you have knowledge or experience in Fast API, I think this may not be a video for you to learn something. But if you'd like to see or you learn together with me, then you should follow up with me and see how far I've gone. So I have created a repository in GitHub, and I cloned it to my desktop, and then I installed some packages. I don't know if this is clear. I'm going to make it bigger so that you can see what I have installed. I have installed some packages here. So there is I created a virtual environment, then I installed some packages, and the packages that I installed are here. Jupyter Lab, because I'm using I think I'll be using Jupyter Lab, I'm not sure. Pandas, Fast API. Yeah, we are learning Fast API, and UV icon standard, because I had a peek on the documentation to see what I'll be using. So I don't know if I'll be using Jupyter Lab or I'll be using VS Code, but in our learnings we shall see whether we will need any of those. Control C, yes. So this is what I have. I have my environment, I called it Bubble, and I have README file. I don't have any other thing inside here. Yeah, so this is what I have set up already. Last time we spent a lot of time waiting for installations to be done. That's why I had to do this in advance. So let's get right to it. Dismiss this. I've closed this server, and we get to know what's going on. So here, this is my first time to look at Fast API. So I don't know anything. The only thing I know is I scrolled up to here, and I knew that I have to install Fast API and I have to install UV icon. But the rest, I think since it is Fast API, I think it is a framework just like Django, because I've used Django before in deploying machine learning models. I've used the Django REST framework to create APIs. So I feel like Fast API may be related to Django REST framework, but I'm not sure. And I think maybe because they're writing fast, maybe it is fast to create API endpoints. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it is fast to learn. Maybe we can learn it in these 2 hours that I have set up here. I'm not sure. What I know about Django is quite heavy, and it took me 1 week to learn Django, and it took me 1 other week to learn Django REST framework. And I used to struggle with authentication by then. So I hope this will not take me long, or it will not be heavy. So we shall just go through the documentation and see how far we can go with this. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to read the whole of this documentation. If I don't understand anything, I will Google, because Google is our school. Okay, so I have installed everything I have here first. Okay, cool. So this is documentation, fastapi Tiangolo. Do you pronounce it as tiangolo.com? And the source code is here. So we can have a bit of source code here. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. We have the docs. So let's first get to know what fastapi is. Fastapi is a modern, fast, high-performance web framework. It's a web framework for building APIs with Python 3.6 and above, based on the standard Python type hints. So it is just like this statement here says that it's just like Django REST framework. So Ayabas. I hope it will not be as heavy as Django. I hope we can learn it in 2 hours, and we say that we are done. So the key features here are: first, very high performance. I don't know if it is clear. I can zoom so that you can see what I am reading. That's too much. Too much of everything is. So first, very high performance, on par with Node.js and Go. Then fast to code, increase the speed to develop features by about 200% to 300%. Really? So if it takes me 1 day to build authentication feature with Django REST framework, that means I can take around 4 hours to build, 4 to 3 hours to build authentication feature with fastapi. Yeah, that's a brave move. I am not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how clear it will be. Anyway, so they are saying that very high performance, fast to code, increases speed to develop features by about 200 to 300%. Few bugs, reduced by 40% of human-induced error. Intuitive. I don't know how you pronounce that. Intuitive. I don't care. Great editor support, completion everywhere, less time debugging, easy, designed to be easy to use and learn, less time reading docs. So I hope this is like what I want. I don't want to read a lot of docs. I want to get to know what it does and use it. If I take long like Django, I will struggle. But anyway, at the end of this video, I'll give a clear. I'll try to compare. Since I've used Django, I've used Flask. I'll try to compare fastapi with both of them, and I see how good or how it compares with those two frameworks that I've used. So easy, designed to be easy to use and learn, less time reading docs. Short, minimize code duplication, multiple features from each parameter declaration. So these two, there is a trade-off between easy and short, because short means that there is an abstraction. I don't know, maybe when I reach in the code, when I start coding, I'll get the meaning of short, but I think there is a bit of abstraction, and if, if there is abstraction in code, sometimes it's not easy, more so from a person who's coming from a data science background to development, so it may not be as easy as they think it is, so I don't know. Anyway, but we shall see. Robust, get production ready code with automatic interactive documentation. Great. Standard based on the open standard for APIs. Great. Okay. So these are the sponsors. Thank you very much. Opinions. I just read the two opinions. I am using fastapi at home these days. I am actually planning to use it for all my machine learning services at Microsoft. Some of them are getting integrated into the core Windows product and some Office products. Oh, okay, cool, nice. I doubt if they can put a negative review here. They will only get positive review. But where can I click on? Yeah. So can we confirm this? Sometimes we get people just write reviews for the sake of reviews. I'm not just looking for loopholes in this, I'm just trying to confirm that, yeah, it's true. Open book prefix wrote, correct docs. I run a lot of services in Kubernetes, Ambassador API, allows configure prefix. But where is the comment? I am happy to add it. Is it the one, really? It is. The PR enables me configure, so you'll get the, I think you'll get the reviews here. Okay, so let's continue. Tiangolo, let me close this, I'm not using it. So typer, the first API. What is typer? If you're building a CLI app to be used in the terminal instead of web API, check out typer. Typer is the first API's little sibling, and it is intended to be first API's command line interface. Okay, so we are not going to look at typer, but we are going to continue with the first API because what we want is first API. If you're going to build a command line interface application, then we shall look. We look at typer. We shall look at typer sometime to come. I mean, if there is need to look at it. But now the hype is around first API. Or if we have time today, we can still go back to typer. So requirements is Python 3.6 and above. I think I have that. First API standards stands on the shoulders of the giants Stylet for web parts and Pydantic for data parts, which guys, I think have spent long without doing data science. We have to learn, I think this week let's learn this, next week we learn this, then the other week we just create connections for all these resources, then we will have a full tool set that we can use and compare. But for now, let's work on this and see how it's going to work. So I have that example code, create main.py. So let's create main.py, command plus. Yeah. So where am I? I'm here. I'm going to use VS Code. Let me open my code. It's taking long to open, right? Oh, what's going on? Yes, I trust the authors. I am the author, please. My computer is hanging. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to close something here. Something that I don't need. Guys, I know you've released something new. So let me first no, let's continue. But it is kind of hanging, which is bugging me. So we are going to, I'm going to run this side by side with the site so that we can see what's going on. Not like that. Not like that. I'm going to run it this side here. But I want it to be 50-50. Can I be able to scroll this? Can we code from here? Is it? It's not going to be clear. Yeah, let's work on one screen. I don't know what's happening with my Mac today, but we are going to code in one screen. I like coding it by hand, coding everything that I'm doing on by hand so that I get to learn what's going on. I get to master the code. I'm going to fix this one here, like this. Then they say, I don't know if it is a must that I have to use main.py, but they're saying create a file, main.py. For now, we are going to create main.py, but we can try to rename it and we see main.py. Then I want to see on the code. Is it clear on your side? I'm going to make it bigger so that it is clear. Great. Then from typing, so I hope typing got installed with everything, but from typing, import optional. Then from fastapi, import fastapi. So this is fastapi all lowercase, fastapi, import fastapi, my environment is not recognizing this. I need to change environment. Let's get this. I need to change this environment. So I'm going to create a new terminal. Okay, so the terminal has picked bubble. Great. Then I'm going to select this and I say the interpreter should be this one. Then I close this part. Why isn't it working? Who cares? Since it is installed in our app. So app equals to fastapi. Then so this one looks like plotly dash, because plotly dash we do this at app equals to that. I don't like this. Did it install? Did it install? Let us just confirm that it installed. Pip freeze. It should show me everything here. So pip freeze, and then we go to Yeah, fastapi is there. So why isn't it? I don't know how many people are viewing, but if you're viewing, you could tell me what's going on here. But anyway, who cares still? Maybe I am using an environment called bubble instead of fast. So I need an environment called fast. So I'm going to, so the environment called bubble, I'm going to remove this environment called bubble. Clear, ls, remove minus rf bubble. That is bash, it's not Python. What we are learning today is Python, but this is more of command line stuff. Just to remove that folder called bubble. And yeah, okay. So there is fast, but where I open this, I'm going to say first save this. Then I'm going to close this. I want to open it, not in this folder, because in that folder we don't have fast. So fast is here, so I'm going to open my code from here. Okay. It's taking long because I'm straining. Yes, I trust. Then I'm not doing bubble, I'm doing fast API. Yeah, learning fast API. Then yeah, it should be here. So we didn't, okay, no problem. Let's create a new file and I call it main.py. So the mistake I did here was to create an environment outside of the folder that I was working on. I mostly do that for security purpose, so that when I'm pushing something to production, I don't mistakenly push my security, what's going on? I want to see errors. I don't push my username or passwords to Git, most when it's public, or my keys. So let's start again from typing, import optional, and then from fastapi, import fastapi. Yeah, it's annoying it now. Yeah, I was telling you that this bit of coding is similar to Plotly Dash, if you have used Plotly Dash before, to build visuals for your data. If you have not, you can try to check my video on Security Exchange for East Africa. I used Plotly Dash to build a web interface which has visuals, pie charts, bar graph, interactivity to a web app so that some people can use it. Yeah, you can check that video out. It's part of my videos. I did it a long time ago when I was still shy. Yeah, so this is like instantiating that object, I think. Then at app, so this decorator, we have get. So I think get, I'm not sure this bit of code, but I think it is more of requests. So this is get, and then maybe there is put, there is post. So we define a function that will be get read root. return hello world. Hello world, it's Dalmas. Hello. And so we are returning a dictionary. Key is hello, value is world. Then we put another decorator for the app, get. So I'm coding it, I'm not copying it so that I get familiar with the environment. I'm learning, and I hope by the end of this stream I'll be items / item ID, item underscore ID. So that decorator, we define a function after the decorator, the decorated function, read item, read underscore item. This is just a function, item ID, integer, q. Then so item ID is integer, q is optional, and it should be a string, optional string, and it can be none, right? So here we return. This thing does not fit on the screen. I'm going to reduce its size. Yeah, none. Then we return. We're going to return a dictionary where the key is item ID, and the value is item ID. Then another key is q, and this is q. So what am I seeing so far is move this side, there is much more space, make this one bigger so that everyone can see, make this one here, you come here, right? So what I'm seeing is you define a decorator with get function. So I hope this is get, then there is post, then there is, you get what I'm meaning, put the normal API. So this is still, I need to use fast environment, that one. Ignore. I'll run it on terminal. I'll run it from here. Okay. So what happens? Create. We have created this. Save. Control S. Am I still here? CD. Learning fast API. Yeah, main.py is there. So after creating it, we are going to run with the server with UV icon main app reload. So it is UV icon. Remember we installed UV icon. What has happened? So it is UV icon it is capital. Yeah, it is UV icon main app reload. UV icon main app, then reload. The reload. Reload. Let's run that. We'll watch for changes in these directories. So this is where my thing is. UV icon running in this port started. So after running this, what should I do? Check it out here. Can I let me try first before I check it out. Let me copy this and I paste it here on the browser. Hello world, it is here. Great. We have done the hello world of fastapi. So we can try to do this. Some query. Hey, right. So item ID is this 5. It has returned this object. This is nice. So this is get. Yeah, get. So I can put here my name, Dalmas, and it returns here Dalmas. What if I put my favorite number is 1 and my name is Dalmas? So item ID is 1 and Q is Dalmas, and yes, we have done hello world. Hallelujah. Quite simple. So it's just import typing. From typing, import optional. From fastapi, import fastapi, then instantiate the app from here, then the get request and return an object. That's it. That's it for now. Let's continue. I don't know how long we have been on. We have been on for 34 minutes and we have been able to launch fastapi. So let's continue. Check it out here. You already created an API that receives HTTP requests in the path / and this one. Both paths take GET operations known as HTTP methods. The path /item /id has a path parameter item ID and should be an int. This one here that we did, it has an item ID and should be an int. So whenever you're passing in a path, you put here. Then remember here we put something like a query. Let's just go back here, and here there is a query. This is when you put a question mark and then Q is a query. ID and should be an int, path, blah blah. Then interactive API documentations. Yes, so this one looks like Swagger because in Django REST framework I mostly use Swagger UI. Yes, it is Swagger. I can see it is Swagger. So this is kind of fun. Let's continue. I hope in the next 1.5 hours we can be able to do something great. Interactive API docs. So we can open this also. So it is /docs. Yes, and I have read route. I have this. So can I, like, this is default and it has 2 get requests. This is very fast. For you to do this in Django REST framework, it takes you time. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that it is fast. It is really fast. Yeah, but I have lots of questions. How do I connect to data? How do you just query the database here and then you return? How do I post to data, to a database or a CSV file? Let's continue. So you will see the automatic interactive API documentation here provided by Swagger. Great. Thank you, Swagger. When I start making money on YouTube, I'll be donating to you some bit, but I like Swagger. Just that I'm not yet making a lot of money. Guys, you should subscribe to this channel so that I can be monetized. And I make, anyway, jokes aside, why are you not subscribing for sure? It's free. Just subscribe there, and you'll be helping me a lot. This is my hobby, by the way. Whether you subscribe or not, it's still my hobby. I like learning stuff, and I like posting content, but it will help me a lot if you subscribe. Now, apart from that rant, let's continue. So now go to this. You will see an alternative automatic documentation. So read doc, there is doc and there is read doc. If I click here, why does it take long? It is on my computer. Yeah, so I have this. Yeah, so this is for reading the documentation. I really would like to know how to write this read doc. How I can. Let's continue learning, because I'm so much interested in a lot of things here. You will see an alternative automatic documentation here. Great. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. These ones we shall learn next week and the other week if there is time. Example upgrade. Now modify the file main.py, modify this file to receive a body from a put request. Yeah, now we are. Yes, from a put request. Declare the body using standard Python types thanks to Pydantic. We have to learn Pydantic. So from typing, so from Pydantic import base model. From Pydantic import base model. Why is it showing me an error? Okay, it was confirming it. From Pydantic import base model, then we create a class before our first get. So class is item. Class item, then base model, class SS, base model. So name should be a string, price should be float, I have not coded this kind of syntax before, where we declare where we declare data type for a variable. It's been long ever since I learned Python up to now, so this is a good refresher. Optional, and it's Boolean, and it can be none. Okay. Yeah. So what's going to happen? So here we've created a class. Then from there we are going to. So this class is for holding those variables. So we say at app dot put. Yes, these were requests. Yay. Slash items slash item ID underscore ID. Then we define our function update item. Update item takes the same, takes item ID, which is an integer, and item. So item underscore ID, which is an integer, and item, which is item. So item, that capital item is a class. If you didn't know, it is this class that we have defined here. So return, so we are returning. When you put, you return. So this is like when you request, you return. So we put request, then we return this to the browser. Item underscore name, and item underscore name is item.name. So it is, since item.name, remember this item here is this a class, and this class is here, so we get that string. Then item ID is item ID. Item ID, the key item ID. Item ID is item ID. Great. Okay. The server should load automatically. So when I save this, let me see. Hey, it auto reloads. Great. So so it should reload automatically. The server should reload automatically. Let me just check what has happened. I'm going back to here. Just to, so how can we put? Let me go to the Swagger UI. Where is the docs? Yeah, here. Swagger. Yes, the put is here. So we can put something. If this item is required, let's try out. If I put 5, this is how it comes back. I'm going to execute this, and I see what will come back. So it's saying item name is a string, item ID is 5. So item name is not passed here. We can, yeah, so item name is a string. Can't we string equals to Dalmas save error now? Okay, can we try again? Let us try again with 5. Execute. It is still saying item name is string. Execute. Item name is string. Yeah, so we shall learn. I don't know how that syntax works, but I think it is Pythonic. So there's lots of things involved here. Anyway, but we've seen that we have created the put. We have created this get. So this is the one that creates that endpoint. This one creates the endpoint for getting items. Okay. Let's continue. Where was I? I was in that. No, I have not seen something, because I have done the put. It is here. We have checked the documentations, and we have seen this. Check, try out. We have tried. Then click the execute button. We have clicked the execute, and item name here is type the item. Let's try again. There is something that is not right. Let's try again. Because I have, is there something I did wrong? cancel. Is there something that I have done wrong? Just want to get to know what's going on. Item.name, everything is fine. Bool, none, optional. So if I come here to Swagger, let me refresh just for the sake of refreshing. So let me try this out. How do they try it? Let me just follow this documentation. Try out item ID, great, string. Click try out. When I click try out, 1, 2, 3, 4, the item name. So what happened? String price 0, example. Oh, so they edit the value from here. Great. Okay, so let's try out here. We can edit the value. So item ID, let's try 1, and then the item name I'm going to put here, Dalmas. I am a very pricey person. 19191999 is offer true. Yeah. Then let's execute. Yes. We have seen how to put. Let's continue. Great. It's not good to skip documentation. It's good to read every bit of documentation. Yeah. By the way, how many people are watching me? One person is on playback. I'm being watched by one person. It's fine, no problem. We shall continue working. Anyway, yeah. So that's how far we've gone. Let's continue. We still have time. Still have like 1 hour. Alternative API docs. We can click on this to see how far we have gone with an alternative way. So fastapi, download specification, read route 200 successful, item, path parameters, item ID required. Yeah, that's for read route. This is read item, read route. This is the route. This one I mean, read route. And then this is the read item. Then update item. Read item is here. This is a string, string number, string. Okay. Okay, so put item. Okay, great. The alternative documentation will also reflect the new query parameters and the body. This is very fun. So recap, in summary, you have declared once the types of parameters, body, etc. as function parameters. You do that with the standard modern Python types. You don't have to learn new syntax, the methods or classes of specific library, etc. Just standard Python 3.6 and above. For example, for an int, item ID int, or for more complex item, model item. And with that single declaration, you get editor support, including completion type checks. I like fastapi. I like it. Django is crazy. I've said it. It's all now in the internet. Editor support, including completion types, validation of data, automatic, clear, error, conversion inputs coming from network Python data types, blah, blah, blah. So you get all this with just this. Isn't life easy? Coming back to the previous code example, fastapi will validate that there is an item ID in the path, get and put request, validate that the item ID is of type int, forget put request. If not, the client will see a useful clear error. Really? Let's try. Let us try. So let's try again and we see if I will see a clear and useful error. Not read the docs. Let's try from here. Not here, from Swagger API. So this, it is expecting name to be a string. I can put one as name, then I execute. Let's assume that this is a string. I just put here price will be Dalmas. Execute. The error message value is not a valid float. Body price. Okay. I hope that is what they mean by clear and useful error. It is clear anyway. So we have reached where? Recap, we have done this. Conversion of input data coming from network Python data types, we can convert this. So I have not seen headers, I have not seen cookies, I have seen forms, conversion output data, converting Python data types into network. This one I have seen. Yeah, it is the one that you've seen here. When you just return, you don't need to you don't need to, how do they say, stringify it so that it can go through the network or something. But it's fine. This is very fine. Automatic documentation, including 2 alternative user interfaces, Swagger UI and readdoc. Coming back to previous code example, fastapi will validate. So it does all this. Please, I'm not going to read all this now. Convert that. We have seen what it does. It is not corona, just allergy. We just scratched the surface, but you already get the idea of how it all works. Try changing the line with item ID, item.name from from this to item.price and see how the editor will work. For more complete examples, including features, see tutorial user guide. Spoiler alert, the tutorial user guide includes declaration of parameters from other different places and headers, cookies. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. How to set validation constraints, maximum length, regular expression, a very powerful and easy dependency injection system. Security, this is also what I'm looking for. Security and authentication, including support with auth2 and JWT tokens, HTTP basic auth. More advanced but equally easy techniques, including deep nested JSON, GraphQL, more extra. Performance, independent tech empowerment benchmarks, fastapi including applications running under UV icon. Optional dependencies, UJSON, email validator, used starlet request ginger blah 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 blah. We shall use this. So far, I am so impressed with fastapi. I have been using Django and I've been struggling so much. So I think this may be something that I'll be using more often. So let's go to features. Let's go to features. I think we need a break, just 30-second break so that we can begin features. I hope my mic is clear today, and I hope so last time I did I did how to find prime numbers, and I was live and my mic was off. You can check that video, but it is a nice video. You can follow along the code, and it's a nice algorithm to use as a square root to find prime numbers. Right, so I'll continue. So there is something I want to remind myself. How did I run this server? It was UV icon, main, app, reload. Main colon app, UV icon, main app, reload. So I'm going to push this to Git so that I don't forget before I move. So git status, is it? Git and everything, git commit -m, and I say I have learned how to set up fastapi environment and did the hello world example. I have also created some end points, and I am excited to continue learning the fast API. Then git push. You'll find main there on GitHub. Go to Dalmas. I will put the link at the end of the stream in the description for you to see it. But let's look at features. So fastapi features. Fastapi gives you the following: based on open standards, open API. Fastapi creation includes declaration of path operators, parameters, body requests, security, etc. Automatic data model documentation. Yeah, we have seen it. Designed around these standards after a meticulous study instead of afterthought layer on top. I don't understand what they are saying. This allows using automatic client code generation in many languages. Okay? Automatic documents. We have seen the automatic documents. Interactive API documentation and exploration. Web user interface. As the framework is based on Open API, there are multiple options, two included by default: Swagger UI, we have seen Swagger UI, and Redoc. We have also seen Redoc. Redoc is kind of nice. Swagger UI is also nice for testing. Just modern Python. It's all based on standard Python 3.6 type declaration, thanks to Pydantic. No new syntax to learn, just standard modern Python. If you need 2 minutes refresher of how Python types, even if you don't use fastapi, check this tutorial. You can check the Python types. Write standard Python types. From datetime, import date. From Pydantic, import base model. So what is happening here? You write standard Python types, Python with types. From datetime, import date. From Pydantic, import base models. Declare a variable as a string and get editor support inside the function. Define main user ID, it's a string, return user ID. Pydantic base model, class user base model is an integer name join. So the base model is like this. It is a class that extends base model, and base model, I want to know what's base model. You can put in the comments there. I don't understand what base model is, but I know it's a class. I just don't know what it does. But I've used it here. What if I didn't use it? I didn't put base model. What if it didn't extend to base model? What would happen? Can I find out? That can be used like this. My user is this user equals to user with ID 3. Name this just a declaration of user. Second user data equals to ID 4 Mary. My second user is that. So I can do it like this. Where did I use the item? It's here. So this can be done like this. Really? Then that, then info, second user data means bypassing keys, values, second value parameter, dictionary as key arguments. Editor support. All framework was designed to be easy and intuitive to use. All the decisions were tested on multiple editors even before starting development to ensure the best development experience. In the last Python development survey, it was clear that used feature is auto-completion. The whole fastapi framework is based to satisfy that auto-completion works everywhere. You will rarely need to come back to the docs. Here is how your editor may help you. VS Code, that I have seen it for sure. I have seen it. I don't know why I never used PyCharm. You'll get completion in code you might ever consider impossible before. As for example, price key inside a JSON body that could have been nested and comes from a request. No more typing the wrong key names, coming back and forth between docs, or scrolling up and down. I like this. I don't know, there is a dog that is barking. Yeah. Short. It has sensible default. It has sensible defaults for everything with optional configuration everywhere. All parameters can be fine-tuned to do what you need to define the API. To define the API you need. I don't understand it. By the default, it all just works. Validation, security and authentication. Security integrated without any compromise with the databases or data models. All security schemas defined OpenAPI or all. I want to do it. I don't want to just read this. It's kind of confusing. Fastapi people. Okay, so these are the guys who built the API. Fastapi is an amazing community that welcomes people from all backgrounds. I am a creator, most interactive users, experts. I hope I will be an expert in this very soon. Contributors, top reviewers, sponsors, a lot of people. Python types intro. Next. Where am I? Will I finish this in 1 hour? So introduction to Python types. This is just Python data type. So full name is a string. Title it is it returns capital letter for it. For the first letter is uppercase. These are Python types. I don't have problems with Python types. I want to learn something new about fastapi, not Python types. So let's go to a tutorial. I am going to first of all open my browser here. Maybe there is a question. And I'm going to push it to the screen down here so that you don't see it. And I see how I can interact with you people. YouTube. Yeah, so we are going to begin tutorial from the user guide. La, la, la. Okay, there are no comments. Let's continue. Yeah, so tutorial user guide. This tutorial shows you how to use fastapi with most of its features step by step. Each section gradually builds on the previous one, but it is structured to separate topics so that you can go directly to any specific one to solve your specific API needs. It is also built to work as a feature reference, so you can come back and see exactly what you need. Run the code. All the code blocks are copied, can be copied and used directly. They are actually tested Python files. To run Just do that. UV icon, main app, reload. It's highly encouraged that you write or copy the code, edit it, run it locally. Using it in your own editor is what really shows you the benefits of fastapi, seeing how little code you have to write and all types checks auto completion. Install fastapi. We have it installed. So we can do this. Install fastapi all. For the tutorial, you might want to install it with all the optional dependencies and features. Okay, I didn't know this. Pip install fastapi all. So let's do this. Let's do this because maybe we are missing something, some dependencies. So I'm clear. What's happening? Clear and pip install fastapi all. I hope we have all the dependencies, but if we don't, it will install and it will install and it will install, but I hope we have all the dependencies for fastapi. It is a very cool stuff. I don't know why I didn't know about when did fastapi come to life? Yeah. Let's try to find out when did it come to life. So before even starting to code fastapi, I spent several months studying specs, OpenAPI, came out to understanding the relationship. When did fastapi come to life? How long has it been around? Let's check Wikipedia. So initial release was in December 2018, 2 years ago. Okay. So the hype was not too much that I could get to know about it, but it's a nice framework. It's very easy to use. Great. So let's continue. I have everything installed. Then I'm going to do this pip freeze, and I put it in requirements text. So I'm going to put everything that I have installed here in requirements.txt. Then I'll push it to Git so that you can see. You can just install all the requirements from there. So I'm going to say git and this git commit -m added requirements.txt then git push. Okay, now let's check. Let's continue. So note, you can also install part by part. We have done installation. Advanced user guide. The word advanced is kind of scary. Just say user guide. There is also an advanced user guide that you can read later after this tutorial guide. The advanced user guide builds on this, uses the same concepts, and teaches you extra features. That's nice. Okay, but you should first read the tutorial user guide. What you are reading right now, it's designed so that you can build complete application with just the tutorial user guide, then extend it in different ways depending on your needs using some of the additional features. ideas from advanced user guide. Okay. First steps. The simplest first API file could look like this, which we did. Run the server, which we have done. The command uv icon main app refers to main, the file main.py, app, the object created. Okay, so uv icon main is that main file. So I can change. If I say uv icon script, then app is, I can change also that variable. Great. App object created in that first API. Reload makes the server restart after the code changes. Okay. Only use for development. What if I am on production? UV icon running on HTTP. The output will be this. But what if I am on production? Should I use reload or I use something else? That line shows the URL where your app is being served. Check, open the browser, message hello world, interactive documentation. We have done this. Alternative API, read documentation, open API. First API generates a schema with all your API, including Open API standard for API schema. A schema is a definition or description of something. Not the code that implements it, but just an abstract description. API schema. Open API is a specification that indicates how to define a schema for your API. The schema definition includes your API paths, possible parameters they take, data schema, and Open API JSON schema. We have 40 minutes to do a lot, so I don't know if I should just jump onto something. Step 1, important. So let's start from here. Recap. So here we have step 1, from first API import first API, then declare that application, then that. Step 2, first API, then create the app. Step 3, create path separation, this one. So this is what I was saying. For this part here, where we have the decorator, it can be get, push, put. So here you're seeing that we can post, we can get, we can put, we can delete. And more exotic options: head, patch, trace. Then we can post, we can get, we can put, we can delete using this code. So this one here is using get, right?